the benefits and outweigh the pitfalls of a low-cost franchise?
I'll definitely start with that one if I can. So I think the major pitfall of having a low cost franchise is actually you're going to attract a person who is looking for a low cost opportunity and doesn't necessarily have the financial backing to make a proper business out of it. They don't necessarily, they sort of want a side hustle rather than a like a full-blown business and something that they're going to really make their own and drive forward and push on with. And therefore, is their commitment really there to it? I think low-cost franchises sort of attract a get rich quick or get rich for doing nothing philosophy in people's heads. So just because it's low cost, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for the franchisee, and it may not then work for the franchisor. Specifically around that point, it's about if a franchisor is only making a small amount of money from each franchisee, it's going to take them a long time to actually make a serious business out of it. So they're going to need lots of franchisees in place in order to start making some money. So I'm definitely more for a properly priced franchise where it's been properly planned out for all parties.
I guess I would counter that by saying let's go back and actually think about kind of a definition of what a low-cost franchise is. What we're looking at here is a lifestyle franchise. Is it a part-time franchise, which I think is what you're alluding to, Phil, of somebody that's not fully committed to it and not doing it 100% of the time? But so that could be children's activity franchises. They tend to be typically lower cost, but it could be a man in a van franchise, delivering a service, car valeting, oven cleaning, that kind of service, actually, where it is relatively low cost to get started. And for the franchisor, it's then about getting the volume. They should be able to attract franchisees potentially quicker because it is a lower cost to actually get involved in the business in the first place. And then as they build it up and get to a good massive number of franchisees, then actually the franchisor is making very good return from it, and franchise network is built up. You've got a brand that potentially could have national coverage a lot quicker than if it's a higher cost franchise in the first place. So what I would use for that one is a client I had, it was a car valeting business, low cost entry point. There's now over 100 of them across the UK. That brand is pretty well known. The franchisor is making an excellent return, and so are the franchisees actually from it as well.
But that is a lot of work, isn't it, for the franchisor in terms of managing those 100 people and hand holding them through that process. But I presume, like, as long as they've got the support network in place, it's going to be okay. But I think it's something to be aware of, that having lots of people is administratively heavy and need lots of support, and that's your business, isn't it?
Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure that they always need as much support once they're up and running. When it's a low-cost franchise, it's not like it's a location, premises-based franchise in the first place. So actually, I think, yes, of course, ongoing support is always really, really important in any franchise business for sure, but maybe not as much, especially as, take it to a part-time children's franchise, something like that, children's activity, then actually they might only be operating 3 days a week or whatever. So actually that support service that the franchisee is expecting from the franchisor would certainly not be as much if it's a 7-day a week full-on retail operation, for example, which obviously is a higher cost franchise.
I think this goes to show that every network or every opportunity is different, isn't it? And it needs to be thought through properly from the franchisor's perspective in terms of what they want and what they want to give the franchisees and what the franchisees might expect back in return, and how that affects fees and ongoing fees and everything that's involved. So it just showcases how much there is to think about it.
Absolutely, about that, and then it's that franchise model in the first place is what you're referring to there, Phil. Getting that right And back to that point about defining exactly what do you mean by a low cost franchise in the first place? Is it £5,000? Is it £25,000? What we defining as being low cost in the first place, and what's the fee structure look like for that as well? So maybe the low cost could be. Sorry.
There are some franchises out there that are like 500 quid or £1,000, and for me, that's a real low cost opportunity, and that's not even an opportunity, is it?
I wouldn't call that is that really a franchise? I think that's that's less than low cost in my opinion, my view. Yeah.
Interesting.